The Florida Department of Transportation, also known as FDOT, welcomes you to the public hearing for the Malabar Road, State Road 514, Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study. This public hearing is being held relative to FDOT Financial Project ID number 430136-1-22-01 and Efficient Transportation Decision-Making number 13026. This hearing is also being conducted for the proposed Access Management classification change to Class 5 in a portion of the study area. The proposed improvement involves widening Malabar Road where warranted from Babcock Street to US 1 and the addition of bicycle and pedestrian facilities throughout the corridor. The project also involves drainage improvements and access management reclassification. We are here tonight to present to you and explain the engineering and environmental studies and preliminary concept plans that have been developed to date. We are also here to give you an opportunity to publicly and officially comment on the project. There is a court reporter present at this hearing, and tonight's proceedings are being recorded. An official transcript of the hearing will be produced. Following this presentation, a public comment period will begin. All written material received at this public hearing and at the FDOT office, postmarked no later than March 13, 2018, or through the project website, will become a part of the public record for this hearing. This public hearing was advertised consistent with federal and state requirements and is being conducted consistent with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. Advertisements for this public hearing included letters to elected and agency officials, letters to property owners within 300 feet of the proposed right-of-way, Florida Today newspaper ads, notifying local media, and advertising in the Florida Administrative Register. FDOT is required to comply with various non-discrimination laws and regulations, including Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This hearing is being held to give all interested persons the right to understand the project and comment on their concerns to the Department. Public participation at this hearing is encouraged and solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Persons wishing to express their concerns about Title VI may do so by contacting either the FDOT District 5 office or the Tallahassee office of FDOT. The contact information is provided in this slide and on a sign displayed at this hearing. Title VI complaint forms are also available at the hearing this evening. This PD&E study is the second step in the project development process that FDOT follows to evaluate social, cultural, economic, and environmental impacts associated with a planned transportation improvement project. This is done in compliance with applicable state and federal regulations. The purpose of this project is to accommodate increased travel demand, provide for multimodal, bicycle and pedestrian facilities, and improve safety along Malabar Road, State Road 514, from Babcock Street, State Road 507, to US 1, a distance of 3.64 miles. The Malabar Road PD&E study begins at the end of the existing four-lane portion of Malabar Road to the east of Babcock Street. It continues east to the intersection at US 1. The study included an assessment of widening Malabar Road to 4 lanes, 2 in each direction, where needed, due to current or future traffic volumes, and providing bicycle and pedestrian facilities for the entire length of the study. Malabar Road is currently classified as an urban minor arterial. This study proposes to change the access management classification to 5 from classification 3 in a portion of the study area. Both classifications are restrictive and provide different criteria for median openings. The PD&E study identified several options to accommodate traffic volumes that are projected to occur in the year 2045, with a goal to maintain an acceptable level of service through year 2045. Level of service, or LOS, measures to what extent cars are delayed when traveling through a given area. As in grade school, a level of service of F is failing, or highly congested, and A is the best, or free-flowing. A traffic technical memorandum included level of service calculations for existing traffic volumes, roadway conditions, or number of lanes and intersections, and for projected future traffic volumes in 2045 with no improvements and with improvements made. Projected traffic volumes for the year 2045 indicate that, without improvements, the entire corridor will fail to meet the standard guideline of level of service D. With the improvements recommended by the Malabar Road PD&E study, the corridor will achieve a level of service that meets or is better than the standard guideline. This table presents levels of service for the anticipated year the improvements will be finished, 2025, and the long-range forecast year, 2045, for the recommended build alternative. The existing roadway exhibits different characteristics between Babcock Street and US 1. 4 different segments are individually defined by the number of lanes, roadway features, widths, and other similar features. These are referred to as typical sections because they represent what is typically found within the segment. We use the term typical section to refer to both existing and new segments of the roadway's characteristics. The following slides describe each of the 4 segments, from Babcock Street to west of Enterprise Avenue, from west of Enterprise Avenue to Weber Road, from Weber Road to Marie Street, and from Marie Street to US 1. The first typical section, from Babcock Street to west of Enterprise Avenue, includes 2 12-foot travel lanes in each direction, with a 5-foot bicycle lane on the north side or westbound direction, and 5-foot sidewalks on both sides. The posted speed limit is 45 miles per hour. Drainage is collected by curb and gutter in an enclosed drainage system. The existing right-of-way varies from 118 feet to 146 feet. The existing typical section from west of Enterprise Avenue to Weber Road includes 1 12-foot travel lane and a 4-foot paved shoulder in each direction. There are no sidewalks or bicycle lanes. Stormwater runoff is collected in roadside ditches. The posted speed limit is 45 miles per hour. The existing right-of-way varies from 50 to 66 feet. The existing typical section from Weber Road to Marie Street includes 1 12-foot travel lane and a 4-foot paved shoulder in each direction. There are no sidewalks or bicycle lanes. Stormwater runoff is collected in roadside ditches. The posted speed limit is 50 miles per hour. The existing right-of-way varies from 50 feet to 66 feet. Similar to the previous typical section, the 4th typical section from Marie Street to US 1 also consists of 2 12-foot undivided travel lanes, but has varying 5-foot and 8-foot paved shoulders, gutter inlets on the south side of the road, and 30 mile per hour to 45 mile per hour posted speed limits. A number of public and agency meetings were conducted during the study process. This table represents the meetings with the Space Coast Transportation Planning Organization staff, committees, and board, the City of Palm Bay, Brevard County's Environmentally Endangered Land staff, and Selection and Management Committee, and the public. A large segment of the study area is within the town of Malabar. The study team met with the town council, staff, committees, and local business owners over the course of the study. A project website, www.sr514malabar.com, was developed to allow the public to communicate with the study team and provide comments. Draft study documents are available for review on this website. Input from this meeting was factored into the decision-making process by the study team. Today's public hearing provides the public with another opportunity to comment on proposed improvements under consideration. No build, Transportation System Management and Operations, or TSM&O, and build alternatives are being considered as part of this PD&E study. The no-build alternative maintains the existing facility as is. No improvements are made, and there is no congestion relief along the corridor. The corridor will remain 2 lanes without sidewalks and designated bicycle lanes on Malabar Road. The no-build alternative is also evaluated as a baseline for comparison with the build alternative. An evaluation matrix comparing the no-build alternative with the recommended build alternative is on display here tonight. TSM&O is an established program used to enhance the performance of multimodal infrastructures. TSM&O alternatives include strategies that aim at improving travel time reliability and reducing delays. While limited in the study corridor, these include adding left and/or right turn lanes at intersections and roundabouts. These have also been incorporated into the recommended build alternative. We will now discuss the recommended build alternative, which proposes to widen Malabar Road to include 4 lanes from Babcock Street to Corey Road, with 2 lanes in each direction. Reconstruct Malabar Road from Corey Road to Marie Street as 2 lanes with a shared-use path, and widen to 3 lanes from Marie Street to US 1. Bike lanes, sidewalks, and paved shoulders are also included. It includes access management from east of Babcock Street to Corey Road with a raised grassed median. Potential sites for storm ponds were also evaluated. First, we will discuss the recommended build alternative for the segment from Babcock Street to Weber Road. Beginning east of Babcock Street, the recommended build alternative includes a 4-lane urban typical section, providing 2 11-foot travel lanes and a 7-foot bicycle lane and 5-foot sidewalk in each travel direction. The posted speed is 45 miles per hour. Travel lanes are separated by a 22-foot wide raised grass median, and drainage is provided by curb and gutter on both the inside and outside lanes. The minimum right-of-way width required to accommodate this typical section is 128 feet. The eastbound bicycle lane is continued from Babcock Street to Enterprise Avenue, where the new 4-lane construction will begin. The alignment is a best fit approach, starting to the north of the existing alignment and then transitioning south just west of a roundabout at Weber Road. Impacted properties in this section include business and residential along the north side of the existing Malabar Road alignments. The next segment is from Weber Road to Corey Road. Just west of Weber Road, the recommended build alternative transitions from a 4-lane urban typical section to a 4-lane suburban typical section. The 4-lane suburban typical provides 2 12-foot travel lanes, a 7-foot paved shoulder, and a 5-foot sidewalk in each direction. The posted speed is 50 miles per hour. Travel lanes are separated by a raised median that includes 22 feet of grassed area and 4-foot inside paved shoulders. Drainage swales, ditches, are located on both sides for drainage. Roundabouts are proposed at the Malabar Road intersections with Weber Road and Corey Road. We have roundabout brochures and a video on display at tonight's meeting explaining what roundabouts are and the safety benefit of using roundabouts. The alignment is a best fit concept. From west to east, after the roundabout at Weber Road, the alignment shifts south, then north, to align with the proposed Corey Road roundabout. Approximately 0.43 acres from the Malabar Scrub Sanctuary and 0.05 acres from Fern Creek Crossing Park will be required. Impacted properties in this section include residential along the north and south sides of the existing Malabar Road alignment. Roundabouts are included in the recommended build alternative at the Malabar Road intersections with Weber Road and Corey Road. Whenever FDOT reviews a new or existing intersection, it is standard process to review options, including a roundabout. Roundabouts have been shown to reduce fatalities by 90%, injury crashes by 76%. Roundabouts reduce the number of traditional vehicle conflict points from 32 associated with a conventional intersection to 8 in a roundabout. A roundabout also limits the number of vehicle to pedestrian conflict points to only 2 per roadway approach. Roundabouts support the local goal of speed control through the corridor, are used in both urban and rural situations in Florida, and accommodate large trucks and trailers. The next segment is from Corey Road to Marie Street. East of the Corey Road intersection, the recommended build alternative transitions from the 4-lane suburban typical section into a 2-lane rural roadway, including one 12-foot wide travel lane and an 8-foot paved and grass shoulder in each direction, with a 10-foot shared-use path along the north side of Malabar Road. The posted speed is 50 miles per hour. Drainage is provided by swales on both sides of the roadway. The 10-foot shared-use path provides pedestrian and bicycle facilities and connects the trailhead at Marie Street to the Malabar Community Park, the Malabar Scrub Sanctuary, and the Disc Golf Course Park. In addition, the 7-foot paved portion of the shoulder on both sides can be used as a bicycle lane. The alignment is a best fit concept. The section alignment can be reviewed in 2 segments, described as follows. Between Corey Road and Shiflett Lane, parcels on both sides, with the exception of the U.S. Post Office located on the north side, are impacted as the alignment transitions from a 4-lane roadway to a 2-lane roadway. Between Shiflett Lane and Marie Street, the alignment has impacts to both the Malabar Scrub Sanctuary and Malabar Disc Golf Park. The alignment shifts south of the existing roadway on the east side of the Malabar Disc Golf Park. Additional impacted properties in this section include residential along the south side of the existing Malabar Road alignment. East of Marie Street, the typical section transitions into a 3-lane urban typical section. The recommended typical section includes one 11-foot travel lane in each direction, a 12-foot bidirectional turn lane, and a 7-foot paved shoulder and a 6-foot sidewalk in each direction. Drainage is handled by curb and gutter. The posted speed is 35 miles per hour. East of Marie Street, the typical section transitions into a 3-lane urban typical section. The recommended typical section includes one 11-foot travel lane in each direction, a 12-foot bidirectional turn lane, and a 7-foot paved shoulder and a 5-foot sidewalk in each direction. Drainage is handled by curb and gutter. The posted speed is 35 miles per hour. A best fit alignment is centered on the existing roadway location. Turn lanes will be added at the intersection of US 1, as warranted by the traffic forecasts, to provide 2 eastbound left turn lanes from Malabar Road to northbound US 1, and 2 northbound left turn lanes from US 1 to westbound Malabar Road. Impacts to properties include residential and businesses on the north and south sides of the existing Malabar Road alignment in this section. The existing drainage systems will be enhanced to accommodate stormwater runoff from the proposed roadway improvements. The analysis included defining drainage basins and computing new and existing pavement areas. Stormwater design was performed to determine stormwater management treatment and attenuation volume requirements to meet current St. Johns River Water Management District and Florida Department of Environmental Protection design and permit criteria. The study identified potential pond site locations, assessed environmental and social impacts for each pond site option, and provided recommendations to satisfy current stormwater management criteria. Pond siting evaluation criteria were developed to screen various potential pond sites. Each of the criteria is evaluated for impacts, which are then used for comparison to identify overall suitability and select recommended pond sites. 8 pond sites, shown in orange, represent the recommended pond locations for this study. The green areas designate conservation lands, and the blue areas are Federal Emergency Management Agency base floodplain areas. Intersection geometry was analyzed in the Traffic Technical Memorandum for the major intersections in the study area. The intersection at Medplex Parkway is not signalized. An eastbound through lane and a westbound through lane are proposed. At the intersection of Weber Road, a roundabout is proposed with 2 through lanes in both the eastbound and westbound directions. At the intersection of Corey Road, a roundabout is proposed with 1 through lane in both the eastbound and westbound directions. The intersection of Marie Street is not signalized. Left turn lanes are proposed in the eastbound and westbound directions. At the intersection of US 1, an additional left turn lane is proposed for eastbound Malabar to northbound US 1, and an additional left turn lane is proposed for northbound US 1 to westbound Malabar. To comply with various executive orders and other federal and state requirements, engineering and environmental information was reviewed and evaluated to determine if there were any substantial impacts to social and economic, cultural, physical, and natural resources that may result from construction of the proposed improvements. The project will improve mobility and relieve congestion in the study area, providing positive social and economic impacts. Wetlands are addressed in accordance with Executive Order 11990. The estimated wetlands impacts include 2.65 acres of direct impact and 1.30 acres of secondary impacts. The recommended build alternative is not expected to result in substantial impacts to wetlands or surface waters. A Phase 1 Cultural and Historic Resources Survey was conducted in compliance with Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966, the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969, and Chapter 267 Florida statutes. An archaeological survey was performed within the existing and proposed right-of-way. The survey included the excavation of 88 shovel tests. The survey identified intact archaeological deposits associated with the previously recorded Malabar Site 8BR00053, and a single archaeological occurrence was identified within Fern Creek Park. No potential adverse effects to any historical resources are anticipated. An architectural survey resulted in the identification and evaluation of 1 previously recorded structure and 45 newly recorded historic structures, including 1 resource group and 44 structures. FEC Railroad, and the old Malabar Elementary School are recommended eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. No potential adverse effects to any cultural resources are anticipated. Numerous recreational areas exist along the study corridor. The study team has coordinated with the owners of each facility to minimize any encroachment that might be detrimental to use of the facilities or their ongoing viability. Coordination with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Division of State Lands and Acquisition and Restoration Council will be conducted during the design phase. Potentially contaminated sites in the vicinity of the project corridor were identified and evaluated to determine if impacts would occur as a result of the proposed improvements. 43 potential contamination sites have been identified. 32 are low-risk potential, 8 medium-risk potential, and 3 high-risk potential. This slide depicts one of the 3 high-risk potential sites. This slide depicts the other 2 of the 3 high-risk potential sites. No potential adverse effects to any contaminated sites are anticipated. The project was evaluated for impacts to wildlife and habitat resources, including protected species, in accordance with Title 50, Code of Federal Regulations Part 402 of the Endangered Species Act of 1973, as amended. The recommended build alternative is not expected to result in substantial impacts to protected species or their habitats. To avoid and/or minimize impacts to wildlife, FDOT will continue to coordinate with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. FDOT will also continue to coordinate with the Brevard County Environmentally Endangered Land staff and conduct monitor and assessment for specific species during design and construction phases. An air quality analysis was performed for the study using methodology established in the FDOT Project Development and Environment Manual. The air quality analysis focused specifically on analysis of carbon monoxide concentrations, which were predicted using FDOT's screening model CO Florida 2012. Air quality impacts are not expected to occur as a result of this project. Traffic noise levels were predicted at 78 receptor points. Traffic noise levels were not predicted to substantially increase at any noise-sensitive site as a direct result of the Transportation Improvement Project. Noise abatement was determined to be feasible and reasonable at the Enchanted Lakes Mobile Home Park and RV Resort. Final recommendations on the construction of abatement measures will be determined during the project's final design and through the public involvement process. Access management is the practice of managing the location, number, and spacing of driveway connections, median openings, and traffic signals. Proper access management techniques can result in improved movement of traffic, reduced crashes, and fewer vehicle conflicts. The recommended typical sections from Enterprise Avenue to Corey Road includes raised medians along Malabar Road. This will support a change in the existing access management classification from I-95 to Weber Road, from Class 3 to Class 5. Malabar Road is currently Access Management Classification 3. The Access Management Classification would change between I-95 and Weber Road to Access Classification 5. The recommended build alternative includes a 22-foot raised grass median from Enterprise Avenue to Corey Road. With a raised median, full and restrictive median openings are recommended at different locations along the corridor. All proposed median openings are displayed on the aerials available here tonight. This table shows the proposed median openings. Right-of-way acquisition is anticipated for the recommended build alternative for roadway and drainage improvements. Approximately 25.73 acres of additional right-of-way is anticipated for roadway improvements, and approximately 19.26 acres of right-of-way is anticipated for off-site ponds. In addition, there is the potential for 8 residential relocations and 3 business relocations. These anticipated relocations are displayed on the aerial photos available at tonight's hearing. All right-of-way acquisition will be conducted in accordance with the Federal Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Act of 1970 and FDOT's Real Estate Acquisition Process. If you are required to make any type of move as a result of an FDOT project, you can expect to be treated in a fair and helpful manner and in compliance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance Act. If a move is required, you will be contacted by an appraiser who will inspect your property. We encourage you to be present during the inspection and provide information about the value of your property. You may also be eligible for relocation advisory services and payment benefits. If you are being moved and you are unsatisfied with the department's determination of your eligibility for payment or the amount of that payment, you may appeal that determination. You will be promptly furnished necessary forms and notified of the procedures to be followed in making that appeal. A special word of caution. If you move before you receive notification of the relocation benefits that you might be entitled to, your benefits may be jeopardized. Relocation specialists are here tonight to answer questions you may have. They will be happy to answer your questions and will also furnish you with copies of relocation assistance brochures. The estimated total cost for the recommended build alternative based on 2018 values will be approximately $60.39 million. This includes $27.45 million for construction, wetland mitigation, and utility relocations, $27.3 million for right-of-way acquisition associated with roadway improvements and off-site ponds, and $5.63 million for final design plus construction engineering and inspection. The Space Coast Transportation Planning Organization works with FDOT and local governments to fund and implement projects identified through various plans developed by the TPO. Improvements to Malabar Road in the study area are included in the Space Coast TPO's 2018 through 2022 Transportation Improvement Program. Improvements to Malabar Road in the study area are consistent with both the needs plan and cost feasible plan of the Space Coast TPO's 2040 Long-Range Transportation Plan. The project is also listed in the Florida State Transportation Improvement Program. Over the next several months, FDOT will continue to finalize the analysis and will seek to approve the documents and improvements presented at tonight's public hearing. Design and final engineering are currently funded in the fiscal year 2022 budget. Right-of-way acquisition and construction are currently not funded for this project. Draft study documents were made available for review starting February 7, 2018, and will remain on display until March 13, 2018, at Franklin T. DeGroot Library in Palm Bay and the Malabar Town Hall. No final decisions will be made until after we review your comments. You may provide your comments in several ways. You may provide an oral statement to the court reporter present here tonight. Complete a speaker card and make an oral statement at the microphone during the public comment period. Complete a comment form and drop it in the comment box provided here at the public hearing, or mail your comments to the FDOT project manager at the address shown on the comment form, postmarked by March 13, 2018. You may email your comments to the FDOT at the address shown on the comment form or visit the project website and submit comments electronically. There is a dedicated page on the website for comments. Click on the Email Updates link, then fill out the form and click Submit. All written material received at this public hearing and at FDOT's District 5 office, postmarked no later than March 13, 2018, or through the project website, will become a part of the public record for this hearing. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for attending this public hearing and for your interest in the Malabar Road, State Road 514, PD&E study.